Before I read this part, I need to tell you that the main character Katniss, her younger sister, was entered for the first time in this drawing to be the person entered in the Hunger Games, and her name's Prim, or Primrose. It's time for the drawing. Effie Trinket says, as she always does, "Ladies first," and crosses to the glass ball with the girls' names. She reaches in, digs her hand deep into the ball, and pulls out a slip of paper. The crowd draws in a collective breath, and you can hear a pin drop, and I'm feeling nauseous and so desperately hoping that it's not me, that this is not me. Effie Trinket crosses back to the podium, smooths the slip of paper, and reads out the name in a clear voice. And it's not me. It's Primrose Everdeen. My name is Beatrice Stewart. I like to be called Bee. I'm really into the Hunger Games. A bunch of my friends got me started on it, and I was just like, this is a really good series, and I think that it's really nice of my friends to let me in on this because, you know, being a sixth grader and all, I don't always have, like, the best idea of, like, what books, like, might be the best for me to read. I definitely love reading. It's a passion of mine. Up in my room, I have, like, giant bookcases, like, stuffed to the brim with books.
Bee has been an avid reader from day one. She has always, I can still remember as a toddler, following me around, read it, you know, have a book.
Because I always want to buy new books.
She can read a book in a day.
Mom always jokes that when I was born, I didn't scream right away because I was saying, "Where's my book?"
Well, from what I know, it's pretty graphic, and they're talking about survival. And their children, you know, trying to survive. I think that's admirable in a way, and it's a good role model for the children that are reading it, because perseverance is something we all need to learn. And sometimes if we can learn that through a character that has gone through quite a bit more than our experience, it's a good role model to have.
One of the best characters, I know this sounds cliche, but I think the best character is really the main character, Katniss, because she lives in District 12, which is one of the poorest districts. Basically, it is the poorest because they're just coal miners and they don't really get much. She ends up being entered in the Hunger Games, and it's really hard for her because she remembers, like, watching it as a kid and thinking how awful it was.
I think I followed the Harry Potter one. Bee wanted to read that at a very, very young age, so her father and I would read it first. And they had a deal about just a chapter a week, and not so it wasn't too much too fast.
I have misjudged him. I think of his actions since the reaping began. The friendly squeeze of my hand, his father showing up with the cookies and promising to feed Prim. Did Peeta put him up to that? His tears at the station, volunteering to wash Haymitch, but then challenging him this morning when apparently the nice guy approach had failed. And now the waving at the window, already trying to win the crowd. All of the pieces are still fitting together, but I sense he has a plan for me. He has not accepted his death. He is already fighting hard to stay alive. Which also means that kind Peeta Mellark, the boy who gave me the bread, is fighting hard to kill me.
I have always felt that the book is far better than the movie. And I think that's because there's no limit to your imagination. With a film medium, they have to meet the general public. They have to provide an experience that everyone can relate to, and I think that waters it down. So they add in more drama, more violence, you know. And we had decided early on that Beatrice really didn't need to see the movie to have enjoyed the story. And from what she's hearing now, she's a firm believer that the book is way better.
We just stand there silently, watching our grimy little station rise up around us. Through the window, I can see the platform thick with cameras. Everyone will be eagerly watching our homecoming. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Peeta extend his hand. I look at him, unsure. "One more time, for the audience," he says. His voice isn't angry. It's hollow, which is worse. Already the boy with the bread is slipping away from me. I take his hand, holding on tightly, preparing for the cameras, and dreading the moment when I will finally have to let go. End of Book 1.